Yeah.
Anyway, I'm so happy that you've all joined me here tonight. We have an amazing set of readers for you. I had this idea, well, I did a reading in the spring in honor of Clarice Lispector, and over the summer...
It's taped.
Oh, it's taped, okay. Over the summer, I was inspired to do a reading in honor of Audre Lorde. I was in Berlin, and she spent a lot of time there. Also regarding our current political situation, I think her work is absolutely necessary and on point. And so I'm so happy that all of us can be here in lieu of autumn and resistance. And I have a little intro, and then I'm going to read a poem from Audre Lorde. Okay. For the erotic is not only a question of what we do, it is a question of how acutely and fully we can feel in the doing. Audre Lorde was a Black writer, feminist, womanist, lesbian, and civil rights activist. Her work explores our many different layers of selfhood, where we lack access to such, and how we find our way back in between layers, atop them, under them, and the social constructs that might prevent us from entering or familiarizing ourselves with such. The prompt for Intoautumnsarms, as written in Lorde's essay and speech, uses of the erotic is, quote, the considered phrase, "it feels right to me," end quote. My understanding of this is intuition as resistance and feeling as truth. As we enter autumn, we witness seasonal death. Leaves tumble, crumble, disintegrate, clear imagery. Bodies of marginalization, violence, and terror afflicted upon them also disintegrate under the carelessness, particularly its intangible forms. The structure of soul, the character of our art, why we say what we do, and how we know we mean it. Prioritizing meaning it. Self-expression is not only actualizing and comforting in self-understanding, but to arrive, to become real, especially born into a female body. Feeling as truth is what I have found to be a guiding force, a beacon lighting my path to creativity, and a guidebook on how to live my life in the way that I want to. That is, to resist, to demand more, to understand how resistance is sustained, and how we dream of new realities to fight for. Quote, when I speak of the erotic then, I speak of it as an assertion of the life force of women, of that creative energy empowered, the knowledge and use of which we are now reclaiming in our language, our history, our dancing, our loving, our work, our lives, end quote. Right now, there's unnatural traffic in our souls. The erotic does not mean ease or comfort, but it does insist on truth and clarity. It demands our attention and care to be tended to. With this intention, it can propel us. Naturally, the revolution is not absolute in any measure, televised, witnessed, internal, external. There are many ways to demand justice. But those on the front lines who utilize their bodies to demand dreams and hope, I must acknowledge here. The service and dedication of reserving your body for resistance is no small feat, and is one that has allowed all of us to be here tonight, together, whole and safe. There is genocide and war in the world happening. As I say this sentence, there has been genocide and war in the world for my entire life, and it is unnatural, it will not be normalized, it will not be accepted. I will not normalize it, I will not accept it. And separate from this, in moments where we may rest, how do we recalibrate and continue to inspire ourselves to resist? To Lorde, poetry may be a way to access this state of calm rebellion, self-summoning without combustion. Quote, for within structures defined by profit, by linear power, by institutional dehumanization, our feelings were not meant to survive. Kept around as unavoidable adjuncts or pleasant pastimes, feelings were meant to kneel to thought as we were meant to kneel to men, but women have survived as poets, end quote. Some bodies find personal resistance against the empire to be poetry, or find poetry to be a mode to translate the impossible into words, or as a documentation of resistance. What we can do to inspire and sustain is to tap into intuition. And as Lorde says, poetry is not a luxury, it is a vital necessity of our existence. Audre Lorde is tenderly honest, imperative, arriving, and necessary always. Lorde's erotic is sensation, feeling, perhaps everything invisible, and that inspires. When we are in our power, we are in our erotic. I'm hopeful that this evening will inspire us closer to the parts of ourselves in unrest and unease at the state of the world. I hope these words bring us closer to the power we all have to resist, become, and demand more. May we all experience light, loss, love, and safety, not alongside roads of death. I'm happy to be here with you all, celebrating the season and seeing its possibility to host true change. Through intuition and what we cannot and will not stand for, we find ourselves facing the difficult truth and simultaneously pointed in the right direction. Poetry is our guide and translator for this process. That said, please assist me in joyfully introducing Kimberly Marrero as our first reader for the evening with a poem on autumn.
How does one follow that?
With your bio. Kimberly Marrero is an independent curator and private art dealer. She has worked as a museum educator at the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York for over 2 decades. She is the author of her first children's book, The Art of You and Me. Thank you so much.
You okay? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So glad to be here. Can you hear me?
The camera died.
That's perfect. So I didn't think I belonged here, and I said that to Andy. I said, I'm not a poet. I'm trying to write poetry. I'm trying to write poetry, and I've been doing it the last couple of years as a way to understand art and to be a better orator of art and share the intention of the artist whose precious gifts I have to share with the world. At the Guggenheim Museum, a beautiful institution with beautiful art, but also at large with people who want to live with art in their homes, you know, and to understand why they want to live with that particular work of art. Then I heard you say something about resistance several times, actually, and I gave a lecture today on Keith Haring, and I was talking about his legacy, not just for art and advocacy, but for healthcare and for equal rights. And he said something that was so profound. He said, to make art is resistance. And I was lecturing to everyone, and I said, you know, not just to make art, but to stop and look at art and understand art and take it in is resistance, right? And art that does something is resistance, right? So there are so many forms of that. And I was saying to my friend Sid, who's a wonderful poet who's here tonight, that art is the perfect place for us to come when everything else is just so flummoxed, in flux, and whatever you want to call it. Just, it's the place, it's the bridge, it's the safe place, it's a place to just be. Okay, so on that, I have 2 poems to read. One is absolutely silly, and I feel, Audre Lorde, forgive me, but you told me to do it. So okay, it's, stand closer to the mic. Okay. Morning hurry, afternoon scurry, late day flurry of queens and fairies, superheroes and scaries, choosing treats over tricks, masked figures grasp at their picks, gumdrops, chocolate pops scattered among latex props, a sugar buzz from too many sweets, maybe 1 or 2 more as we race down the street. Empty sacks that once were brimming cause bellies to groan as the sunlight is dimming. Sore little feet, nowhere left to roam, they follow the empty candy wrappers home. Porch lights turn low, row after row, a signal that candy supplies are running low. The rotting pumpkins like shrunken sculptings, with centers aglow, their flickering lights burning so very slow. A crisp, cool breeze whisks me fast to my stoop. Boo! I'm startled by one last swoop. As I arrive at my doorway, some leaves start to gather, like a pile of tiny abstract paintings in autumn's rich palette. The fall's masterful illustrations that serve as her hinter of what is to come, a long, nippy winter.
Lovely.
And will you indulge me with one more, which is completely on the flip side? Thank you. So my mother, when she passed several years ago, she had 9 children. I was the baby. And she gave up a career as a concert pianist to raise 9 children. She went to Juilliard, she was classically trained, and she was obsessed with Rachmaninoff. And she had to master the bells of Moscow. And for her debut at Carnegie Hall, she played it beautifully. And that was the end of her career. She played it in our home in a room that had no furniture with just a baby grand. And when she played like mice, we scurried. But I grew up hearing that song. I wanted to write her a poem. So here it is. The Isle of the Dead. Nicotine-scented smoke rings, like hazy musical scores in the air. A towering prodigy sits at his finely tuned Steinway with the regal stature of a Russian aristocratic heir. Hanging overhead, Arnold Böcklin's painting, Isle of the Dead. A brooding 19th century seascape, the expressionist symbol for despair and dread. A painter adored by fellow Russian Nabokov. His book, The Vain Sisters, lingers long inside the virtuoso's head. A tune emerges from its morbid imagery, a remote island of bone-colored rocks, fiercely guarded by an arc of raven-colored cypress trees. Its monochrome palette resembling the familiar stark tones of the maestro's own piano keys. Peering through a musician's lens, he fixes on the picture's tiny boat, perhaps on its final voyage to the afterlife. Glance at his inky notes perched in unison script on their velvety bow. Down in the valley of his soul, his thoughts, like frightened sparrows, race towards the melancholy tune, the bells of Moscow. The longing for his motherland, his first symphony downfall, the whispers of American critics. Is it Marfa Fawn syndrome? Why is this man so immensely tall? A deep dive into the abyss, a revolution, a mother's kiss, another mother's unanswered wish. The mountains of the Ninth Symphony and vocalese come to life. His feet stomp down heavy on the shiny brass pedals that yield to his unwanted tension and strife. The completion of Concerto 2, O Tchaikovsky, I salute you. A prelude in C minor, Opus 43 for cello sonata in G minor. Another sweeping reach across the ivory path, gazing back to the painting in sporadic glances, cigarette ashes fall freely onto the sheets of a nearly finished symphonic dances. Rhapsody on a theme of Paganini is performed on the world stages. The chatter and acclaim of an expatriate celebrity make all the noteworthy pages. Rachmaninoff, you once said, music is enough for a lifetime, but a lifetime is not enough for your music. If that is so, I pray. For my own deceased mother, I pray that your instrument of the immortals is waiting for her in the afterlife to play.
Thank you so much.
I didn't cry.
Oh, you shut up.
I did.
Dolores.
Like, oh man.
If you need to cry on stage, it's okay. It's a safe space. It's a safe space. I might. Next up, we have Kemi Star with some poems. Kemi Star is a writer and director from Houston, Texas. She is driven with a passion to create narrative fiction films and transport audiences to new worlds, craft vibrant, engaging stories that center people of color. Her aim is to break from narrow portrayals and allow people of color to exist in awkwardness, whimsy, and humanity. Welcome, Kemi. I'm also not a poet, but I write. This is usually not what I write, but they're like stories in a way. So here are some stories that I wrote over time. It's the first one. It's Letter to Bear. When I first met you there, I fell in love immediately for your big brown eyes. Couldn't stop looking at them against my will. A friend I didn't know all too well, but I swear I've seen you in my dreams, in childhood, in memory. I know everyone. I feel everything. Always forgiving, always singing to myself. I lick honey from between my toes. I pour you a big glass of cream. Okay. These are all really short, by the way, because notebook form. My notebook format. Okay. This one is ways to say I love you. Oh, this one makes me nostalgic. Okay. When it's morning, I say good morning as you lie there, breathing. When we eat, I steal a bite from your lap. When it's cold, I put my hands deep inside your pockets. And when it's loud, I speak closer to your ears, directly to your drums. And when it's quiet, I use my eyes. When we kiss, I don't give my tongue just yet. And when I call for you, I use some other name. Touch, touches, touching. With my hands, I smooth you out. All that you were, all that you are. And then this one, let's fly away together, everyone. Okay. This is the great green kale. Let's meet in every crack and corner. Squeeze the flesh between our toes. Let us share the air under our noses, joining like rabbits under the table. Red canopies and squishy black socks. We stretch our bodies wide. We stretch towards the sky, swimming in vacant waters. Let us chew on cotton candy clouds, rain falling from our watering mouths. Wispy lashes grow long and flutter, slimming through rocks and over hills, growing green gills above the great green kale. Thanks, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, amazing, vivid.
Psychosexual, thriller, parafiction, horror, architecture experiment.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, so I haven't written a fiction in a good decade, plus some. Shout out middle school. So,
It's powerful you're able to intuit that. I guess we could call it that. The sensation began about 4 weeks ago when we exchanged I love you. Your test of my faith is something that isn't new. That's how you found me back in the spring, in need of a good testing. But how we met is irrelevant, you always say to me. What matters is that it happened. And I agree. Well, this test, came around while exchanging I love you. You said it to me, I echo it back to you, and you gave me a test. If you love me, then eat a kid. I don't know what that is, but I trust that you are benevolent, so I wait for you to give it to me. Description of what you call a kid. Some pubic hair, chopped up e-waste, a bit of trash, and of course, blood. The order of operation doesn't matter, you say. Just eat it and kiss me. You tell me I'm gonna like failure, and I say, if it's by your hands, I will. The day before the party, you went to the doctor with me. I was told I'm pregnant. I tell them I haven't had a period in 3 years, nor had sex since we got together. You call me Mary. I assert that's not my name. The physician looks uncomfortable. Wait, I gotta turn my brightness, sorry guys. This is the year I've really felt my body age. Heat catches in places it didn't used to. I feel the difference in my ankles and my knees and my hips when I change my shoes. Honey has become too sweet for me. The process of maturation is an active one. We talk at our spot by the shrine about this child that's in me. I'm past confusion and straight to full acceptance. I've been told from when I was a child, like the child that's in me, that this was my fate. Its being affirms my reality. But you, I can see it in your eyes. The fear of parenthood. This is what we wanted, right? Most of your tests involve eating. You say it's your sex, but not in a fetish way. I didn't get it, and I don't get it. I thought that was an odd thing for you to mention, but now I find it sexy. You value consumption, so let me eat for us. You know, sometimes I think about the spring we met, a sweet mental treat. Behind some vines, you lived a second life that I'm not aware of. I concocted an aphrodisiac from the matter from your previous life. Roots, algae, and a mass of my pheromones, made with tons of my affection. But there's something wrong with it. Sniff it out. You know what the scary part is? I don't know why it stinks. Useless. I soap it up, rinse it out, and leave it for another day. I don't believe in God, but I believe in dishwashers. You are my dishwasher.
That's it.
A little psychosexual. Okay, next we have Nya. Nya Morgan is a 22-year-old writer, filmmaker, and linguistic traveler.
Spoke about feeling as resistance, and I feel a lot, and I never really honored that growing up, but now I'm working on feeling everything, and it's fun and it's hard, and it inspires me to write. And so I am sharing a piece that I wrote recently entitled Fool, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And thanks to my friends for coming. Love you guys. My mother's words fell silent for 2 years, above ear, ceiling fan buzzing, till larva overtook. The wood ate my feet, then meat, then me. Oak tibia left my corpse defensive in defeat, clawing ground till the only sound was a scream. Dad went the same way, double time, till the crime paper weight forced us three to retreat, and I would mouth, I don't know him, he won't have me, because he is a fool, because cruel is who you are, and I am shining, I am shiny. Do you want to touch? Man, woman, do you want to touch? Stain these sheets with your drunken filth, softened will, coarse hair, still black and parted, as you breach my tenderness in search of milk. When I imagined motherhood like they say two women should detour, I did not picture you lapping, nor weak on all fours. I wanted more from you, love, but you move like a man, cowardice to the sword you took in your hands. Malice strikes horrendous when you float along, and uncertainty betrays your pathetic fog, but my smog carries lust like a weakened song, and compassion shackles me like a guard dog. At least that's what I pray this is, that these affirming winds don't signal a bitter karma overhead, nor whisper a melody meant to trap my breath. When Brittany says, please don't take this feeling, damn, I feel it all. I feel it all, I feel it all, I feel it all over me. So how could I be in disservice to myself? Only by loving you. Only to love without inheriting my fool too. Thank you.
Guys, I'm so moved by all of these. I'm feeling really happy. And that said, it's me next.
Hey.
I have something a little longer. You know, since I'm the organizer. Anyway, okay, so I was working on this. This started as a prose piece. It was like 4 pages long, and it wasn't working, and it wanted to be a poem. It was demanding to be a poem. It wouldn't stop being a poem. I kept line breaking, and I was like, but it's supposed to be a paragraph, and it wasn't. So this is titled Giant Cosmic Underbelly, and it's a pretty picture. 1. My body could have been different, but nothing would have changed you. Drunk and alone, walking the canal, I recognized myself. Next to dark water, lapping warm waves of fresh twilight. Beneath the purple swathed sky, the last buzzing traces of night. The scent of something newly miserable. Our rapidly approaching first encounter. 2. The canal is sweet tonight, shimmering, summoning me to the edge of our hollow world. Along the cobblestones, tendrils of memory befriend my ankles and throat. Lamps that resemble you cast aglow the rocky shore where I dance with crawfish, straddling your arachnid limbs, searching for my next sentence. Down the creek lies a house of splintering driftwood. Sepia leaves collect atop it. Gutters tremble with new autumn. Inebriated and girlish, resting here in your dishonesty. Rotted leaves dimming the stars, I sleep for the first time. 3. Last year, a baby crow let you touch her. From a trembling palm, you offered nuts and raisins, tenderly attentive to her fluttering wings, 1/100th of your size. Silent hours of hope, my thoughts flying through sunny entrails of our accidental re-entry, where I must learn to use all of my body instead of trying to prepare it. Under flickering street lamps, watching the clouds and stars, there are mirages of you revealing my glory. 4. Fumbling with your zipper on floral upholstery, glowing orbs of femininity, your emblematic crotch, spinning in proximity, my last week following the laws of narrative, I hide in plain sight, hoping for you to be my house. Trailing your soul scent, flies flitter across sun shadows, ladybugs land on the nape of my neck. At the war memorial, I bury the bugs alongside my exo heart. Wandering the highway next to Soviet grief, I hear distant crow caws. 5. Watching the fog dissolve down along the water, myself by dusk, skin burning. As your memory spurs, I shake my hands like a wet dog, trying to find relief from all this woman and dissemblance of absence. As the moon uproars, seed stalks spurt, tall, lanky, emblematic, dying when the sun rises. From my picket porch, my soul watches as your shadow wanes and mulchy tendrils grow, like an invitation to my cosmic underbelly, a precipice to becoming explicit. 6. The first time I decline fantasy, the world shakes. Black abyss and a portal of stars descending onto a minor moon. My heart thumps through dead interstellar air. Grunting with her own weight, Saturn flies by, like a tumbleweed crushing small white flowers. 7. A white star rises above the bench where I wailed for you last winter, illuminating all of the canal bugs, swans, mayflies, other invertebrates yet to be born. Critters were so patient, I was in agony, with giant phallic sutures in my uterus, like screaming roots, deep in the forest of my body, moon pools, birthing pearls each eclipse, changing substance into orbs of evergreen hills, sleepwalking the cliff with cosmic silly string as my emergency rope. 8. In December, to relieve my frigidity, you give me one cookie from Amon, one tuft of your hair with a glue stick, reassuring our real love that will tear me open, big and bright. Morning at the frigid canal, standing above the sink, cleaning what's all over my torso, what you've left, down along my freckled spine, your snores, snug around my dejected body. You don't look at me as you leave at dawn, halfway out the door. All I'm asking for, love me as swiftly as you'd toss a rotten piece of fruit. Thank you. What time is it? Okay, I think we're gonna take a little break. Maybe be back here in like 15 minutes, and then we'll get started on the open mic. We definitely should have time for everybody who wants to go. If you'd like to sign up, if you feel yourself inspired, or if you just want to join in at the end, about 5 minutes per person. Right now it is 8:07 p.m. We have this place until 10. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you so much to the readers. I'm having a wonderful time, and I hope you are too.
Yeah.
Thank you.